Tangora's new Lightbox functionality brings you yet again an eminently useful feature that's eminently easy to implement. So even if you've never heard about lightboxes before, at the end of this video, you'll not only be familiar with lightboxes and the benefits of using lightboxes, you'll be able to set it up in Tangora yourself. If you're not familiar with the lightbox concept, the first question you probably have is, what is a lightbox? Basically, it's an elegant alternative to a pop-up window, but with a lightbox, the content opens in the same window, with the added benefit of dimming the background and highlighting the foreground, just like lightboxes photographers use to view slides and other transparencies. So what can you use lightboxes for? Well, the answer is just about anything, from texts or forms or images or perhaps a combination hereof. In fact, because Lightbox has been made available so many places in Tangora, I won't be able to show you everywhere in the system where you could use a lightbox. What I'll concentrate on in this video is showing you how to set up a couple of specific implementations so you can hit the ground running. In this case, specifically in conjunction with images in our demo site's products database. Up on screen, I have our demo site's products page. If I click on a photo, I get a larger version of the photo in a pop-up window. The effect is achieved by placing a clickable thumbnail version of the image on our page. This is all well and good, but we could use a lightbox here to open the full-size image in a lightbox instead. To do this, I need to adjust some settings in the overview layout on my product page in Tangora Manager. So I can go into Tangora Manager and find our products page. And here I can see that I have a settings button, which is present because my products page is a function page. So when I click on settings, I come into the interface where I determine how I want to display my data. Where we'll want to go to now is the Overview tab, where I have access to the appropriate layout. In my layout, I can see a preview of an image, and when I select my image, I can see that a button appears in Visual Designer called Image Settings, and here's where the magic happens. The image we see is actually a clickable thumbnail version, and these settings are actually set in the central database design. But because we're adjusting these settings here on the page, we don't even have to worry about the central settings. We do have to select an appropriate start size. Now, I happen to know that the width of my thumbnails is 100 pixels. I can determine this by examining the category to which the image belongs in the central image archive. But don't worry if you're too busy to bother with checking all that, because it's as simple as typing in a value and seeing if you like the result. Another cool thing is, you don't have to select the height if you don't have a specific size requirement. You can just leave it at 0, and the appropriate size will be chosen automatically for you. Note here too that you can apply a macro, which is a little collection of operations from Tangora's image editor that you could record and reuse. Then we have the lightbox settings. First we activate the lightbox, and then we select an animation effect we'd like. Then we have what's called an overlay color and transparency. Overlay color is the background color which appears around the content in your lightbox. Typically it's a dark color with some transparency. Then you have a background color and padding. This is the background color of the lightbox content, which appears insofar as you have content that doesn't already have its own background color. The padding setting is how much of a border you'd like to have around your selected content. So in the case of displaying images here, it'll effectively act like a frame. And so now we can see the results on the front end. Okay, so now I'll show you another cool implementation of the lightbox. We'll use it in conjunction with some other great Tangora tools to present a whole gallery of images. As it stands now, if you click on the Read More link, we get a detailed view of the product. And here we can see that we have a full-size version of the product image. But let's say that I want to show a series of images as a gallery. To do this, I could utilize Tangora's new multi-image field together with an image rotator, and then I'll display the results in a lightbox. First, I want to show you my multi-image field, which is in my central database, in this case our products database. This is where I go to maintain my products, so if I want to change, add, or delete items, this is where I need to go to do it. In our Content tab, we see that we have a handy link to the database. And in our database, if I select our apricot record, I can see that we have a multi-image field here with the title Image Gallery. I can add or remove images with the buttons down here, and then I can change the order as I please just by dragging and dropping. Okay, back on the products page, I can access the appropriate layout, in this case the detail layout, and then I'll see that our original image field is placed here. I could just delete by selecting and then hitting delete on my keyboard, that'd be function backspace for Mac users, And then I'll add my multi-image field, which I can remember is called Image Gallery. I'll do this under the Insert tab amongst the various other possible data fields. Now I have it placed at the bottom of my layout, and I can position it into place by using the arrow keys on my keyboard. If I click on the representative preview image and then choose multi-image, then we could see that I could choose a width and a height and change the view mode. As you can see, I could choose from a list view, which just presents them one after another without any funny business. But if I choose a larger size, and here I'll need to choose both a height and a width, and then activate Image Rotator, then we can see that I have the option to select an image rotator. This can either be one that I have created myself or one that the system provides automatically. I'll choose an image rotator where I've added Lightbox functionality called Lightbox Gallery with images below. Then I need to save my layout, and I'll just save my page while I'm at it. And then in our detail view of the apricot, we can see that we have a gallery which comes up on screen when I click on a thumb. And there you have it. So that's the skinny on Tangora's Lightbox functionality. Powerful yet easy to implement. And now we've seen a couple of examples of how you can implement Lightbox using our handy point-and-click interface. Thank you for watching.